So I don't know how long this is gonna stand because it's just some vine I've wrapped around a rock to get it to stay put. So the last video was called Let Me Wet Your Palate. This one's called Let Me Dry Your Palate. Although I don't think I look that bad, honestly. Ooh. I think it quite suits me. I think I've lost a little bit of weight off my face, so I don't look as puffy, fluffy faced. So yeah, I've just broken up for Christmas for 4 days. So I have tomorrow off, and then I have Boxing Day off in lieu on Monday. Oh yeah, you see. Then I have next Thursday off, I think, as a thank you day for working through COVID, which I was happy to do. Actually, I had 8 weeks off, didn't I? Which was paid, full pay. So yeah, thank you, I guess. And then I have New Year's Day off. Nice. And I have like 3 days off personal leave to take. Fuck it, I'm just gonna hold it, I guess, whenever I want. Yeah. Today was alright. We did like 3 loads between 4 people. Full pay day, and I finished at, it's now just nearly 12:15. I'm about halfway home. So instead of finishing at 3:15, we finished at 11:45, which was pretty gravy. Half day for whatever reason, because it's Christmas Eve. Nice. Yesterday was also basically a half day because we had a lunch at some place, which was nice. Last day for Chris, the boss, yesterday. Now we're working under somebody else who seems pretty chill. A couple of things to talk about. One of which is yesterday my mood was pretty dampened because Nico told me that he's probably not. It's pretty certain that he's not going to go to Sydney for Christmas. For New Year's. He was going to go from the 30th until like the 4th or the 5th or something like that of January to spend New Year's over there with a friend. And I was honestly really looking forward to having a week by myself and having, in those days I've got 5 days off consecutively. I've got from like the 31st to like the 4th off, and I was really looking forward to having just like 5 days of solitude just on my own, because I realised yesterday that Nico gets 8 hours 4 to 5 days a week to himself. Like all day today he's had off to himself, you know. He nearly every weekday he has most of the day to himself, because he gets up at 8 o'clock and I'm back at like 3:45, so he's got all that time off to himself, and I don't get any solitude. And I was really looking forward to having some time on my own. And recently, I don't know, Nico's been annoying me. He's got I know potentially my perception of him has changed or has become more negative, maybe because of my state of mind in general, but he does seem to be more condescending / patronising, and just as arrogant but more condescending as of recent, over the last month or so. And I've been in a pretty good mindset, so perhaps I am perceiving him pretty accurately. So I was looking forward to that, and it kind of really dampened my mood, because I'm like, I won't have any time completely by myself until I get home. And as soon as I'm home, hopefully my mum will be, at the house most of the day on 9 till 5, and I'm just hoping my sister is like living with a boyfriend, because I don't think I could live just me and my sister. So yeah, if I am living full time with my sister, I think I'll end up going mad, because one of the things I wanted to do in Australia was kind of have something of like my own place, or like my own flat, and just kind of live my life and have friends outside. But I learned in terms of living, I like to be on my own, so I don't know how it will be with Elliot if we pursue this Norway thing, but I will need times when I'm just like completely alone. There's no chance of me being disturbed, and also Nico's probably the loudest person I've ever met, just generally. He doesn't shout, but he does shout a lot in terms of, he does, okay, he's very loud. So there's that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was a bit more quasi-philosophical, or whatever you want to call it, about ambition and stuff, because I don't know how to introduce this topic. I don't really know how to phrase it or whatever, but recently I've been reading a lot of this Krishnamurti guy think on these things, I realised if there was any book I could recommend to anybody, this would probably be the book, because I think it's very, very good. But I think, as with every book, timing is important, and it depends when you read it. But at the moment, it's a pretty good time for me to be reading it, a good time in my life. I agree with pretty much probably everything it said, and a lot of new thoughts I've had because of the book. But yeah, the nature of ambition as being totally unhealthy if you're constantly going after acquiring more. And I was talking to a couple of guys at work about it today, and Fab was saying about, well, you know, it can be very good to have a lot of ambition so you can like acquire enough money so you can do what you want to do. And my rebuttal was simply that, well, if you have the mindset of wanting to acquire more and more, you know, I need to accumulate $100,000, and then I'll spend a few years just traveling. And if you don't love your job, or if you hate your job, or if you know, you kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is a game where I'm like, because if you're constantly just trying to accumulate money, then the nature of your being, the nature of your like existence is like a means to an end for that time period, right? But then when you accumulate that money and then you quit your job and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to enjoy myself. Can you just change your mindset so you're like just totally living in the present and you're just doing things as ends in themselves? Can you just go traveling and truly enjoy it? Or after a few months of like traveling, will you get bored, or will you feel like your life is not as meaningful as you thought it would be when you started the, you know, pursuit of wealth, so you could do this trip? I don't know, because I was thinking, like, at the moment I have no desire really to do programming. I have no real desire to drive to work toward freelance. And I was thinking, like, well, if I discipline myself to freelance, to get to a point where I'm freelancing, and I get to a point where I have requests, I have clients asking me to do jobs, will that finally bring me? Okay, I'm on a rock. When I was last here, about a month or so ago, I saw a decent sized lizard on this rock, and I've just heard rustling in the leaves. And if it's a snake, then I'm not going to be happy boy. And I'm kind of sat in a position. Okay, I think I'm going to have to move. Yeah, I'm like off this side of a 10-foot drop or so. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy if there's a snack here. I'm going to get the shit out of me. Yeah, so yeah, where was I? I don't know. But yeah, is it worthwhile me pushing myself? I don't think so, because as I'm working, if I'm pushing myself to do something that, you know, if the means are not enjoyable, I don't think I have the capacity to be like, oh yeah, well, it will eventually be fun, you know, I'll eventually be enjoying it when I'm travelling and I'm doing work. Okay, there's definitely something here. Okay, fuck this. Oh, there is. I saw it go into a fucking bush, into the rock. Something down there. Can you see anything? Yeah, something there. Can you see anything? Okay, I don't know. But I saw something move, and that's disconcerting. It's probably just a lizard, but we're in Australia and I don't know what the fuck's down here, so I'll just sit. Yes. Whoa! Okay, fuck that. No, fuck that. Okay, that shit me up. That definitely shit me up. That was right underneath me. Yeah, okay, I'm not. Fuck that. No, fuck that. Fuck it all. I'll sit up here. Swear to God, if there's anything up here, I'll poo myself. Okay, yeah. I don't think I can sort of like force myself to do something that I'm not enjoying. And Pete, you know, Fab said, well, you know, if you're poor or you need to pay your medical bills, and to me that's not ambition, that's necessity. Like, you've got to do a job to get to live, to function, to be able to feed yourself, to be able to pay your medical bills. That's like necessity, that's not ambition. But if you're ambitious and you're being like, I want to become a millionaire, you're like, how will I become a millionaire? Or I'll create the next best app. And if you're constantly driven by this pursuit of like money, and then when I get that money, I'll be free, I'll be happy, then I think it's very precarious. I don't think many people will be able to actually pull that off, because I think most people will be like, okay, I'll get this million, they'll get the taste of money and affluence, you know, and then they'll pursue the next thing. You know, they'll be like, oh well, I'll just do this. I don't think they'll be able to go, okay, I'm done. You know, okay, yes, click, I'll turn off that ambition mindset and I'll just kind of live. I think it's very rare for somebody to be able to do that. And personally, I can't see myself, unless I have a desire to do it, like a love for what I'm doing, a love for the programming, which maybe will come about again. Maybe I'll get a genuine desire and curiosity, but for the time being I have no interest in it. I'm more interested in writing at the moment. That's what I'm spending more time doing. I have no interest in programming. Maybe if I do, then yeah, sure. But until that point, if I'm forcing myself to do it, and maybe I have tried pushing myself to try different things, a few different ideas, but until that point when I'm genuinely curious, I think pushing myself to do it is just kind of futile, because if I do eventually make another project or another app, or I get a call from a client, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, I don't really want to. And if I'm just keep doing like what I don't really want to, it's like, well, when do I stop doing that? When I have £1 million, and then what, can I just turn it off and then just live? That's not, to me, that's not the way I want to live my life. To me, that's not like, it's not correct for me. I don't think I'm really articulating myself very well. I'd probably better if I just read a quote or two. But yeah, the sort of ambition I'm talking about is like when you're just saying, oh, I want to become rich, or I want to become a millionaire, or I want all this status, or I want to do, I don't know. If you're doing something and you're not enjoying the process, then yeah. And I think to be able to enjoy the process is very difficult, because as Krishnamurti said, like, it could entail misery, or it could entail homelessness or something like that. I think it's very difficult to be able to just say, yes, well, I love doing that, so I'm going to keep doing that, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. I don't know, I need to form my thoughts more, but I think I have the idea in my mind. It's just, I don't think I've articulated it very well. Yeah. I'm not doing anything for New Year's or Christmas, I don't think. Another thing about Nico is that he was saying like how he always does something for Christmas and New Year's, and how he spends it with family, always likes doing stuff with people, and he knows like I don't really care that as much as he does. But I was looking at stuff to do for Christmas. I was looking at a club night, I was looking at a live performer, a place with live gigs, and asked Nico last night if he'd looked into anything, because we talked about doing something, like, oh, we should do something, and he was like, yeah, we should do something, and he says no, he's not looked into anything. I was like, well, you're going to be just with me for Christmas, so why have you not? I was thinking, like, are you not bothered anymore? Has your whole being changed, going from like super family oriented and social, doing stuff with other people, to just being like, I don't care? And he says he'll just be in VR, his VR headset, he'll spend Christmas on VR. Okay, right. So yeah, I don't know, there's that. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting home, I guess. Job's good, fine. It's just monotony, and I'm just kind of, I want something different. I don't want to be living in this house, sorry, but with him anymore. I'm just like, I want something new, even if that entails a bit of strife.